guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ringside Recap. I am your host, Ninja the Ninja, and let's get started with Monday Night Raw. So y'all, welcome back to the show, and I feel like this week has been really quiet for wrestling news. I really haven't seen anything on my social medias. Only thing that I have seen is I heard a lot of people was not too fond about last Friday's SmackDown. A lot of people was not happy with it. I liked it a little bit. I think I said it could have been a little bit better. But yeah, that's all I saw. People was not really happy with this Friday night SmackDown. And hopefully they get it back on the road for it to be a little bit better. And that kind of makes me scared for this Monday to see how this is going to turn out, since Friday was a not good show. But I don't know. I know I saw we're going to get Roman and Jacob again. We're also going to get Brie Bella and Paige for their titles. And that's really all. I can't remember what else I saw on the social media earlier during the day. But after all that, let's get started with the show. So, y'all, the show opens up with Roman Reigns coming to the arena and GM Adam Pearce stopping Roman for trying to involve himself with Jacob Fatu. But Jacob Fatu beats Roman to the punch and goes to the ring and basically calls out Roman. But the Usos came out and they try to talk sense to Jacob Fatu. They was like, you always say you try to do this for your family, you're gonna have a great house, cars, money for your family, and all you have to do is acknowledge the tribal chief. But since you didn't acknowledge the tribal chief, do you want to just go back in prison instead? So then Jey Uso tries to jump Jacob with the chair, but Jacob wasn't having it, and he put both of them in the Tongan death grip. But then eventually Roman came out, and all three of them just beat up Jacob Fatu. So as Roman and the Usos were walking to the ring, Jacob calls out for Roman and basically challenged Roman to a match for tribal. But yeah. Okay, y'all, so the first match of the night for Monday Night Raw was Finn Balor versus JD Madonna in a street fight. And this was a great match. This was a good opening match. So that makes me scared for the rest of the show, since this was so good off the gate. So that means the show is going to be bad. The ending is going to be kind of not as good. But JD and Finn had tables, they had chairs, they had trash cans, they had a kendo, they had everything. They had everything in this whole match. They were in the crowd, they was everywhere. So sometime during the middle of the match, Dominic Mysterio tried to get involved, but that didn't work. And Finn capitalized on the opportunity and got the win over JD Madonna. So all in all, that was a great match. I'm going to give the match probably a good, 10 out of 10. That was a good match. That's a good match you can rewatch later. You know what I'm saying? That's a good one. So then we get an interview with Seth Rollins and Kathy. And basically, Kathy asks about Seth Rollins that happened last week with the Street Profits. And basically, Seth is repeating himself that he's a marked man. He has problem with the vision. And, everybody's not his friend. But he proceeds to call out the Vision because Steph said he hasn't had a match on Monday Night Raw in 9 months. So he calls out to any member of the Vision, but he was more specifically calling out Braun Breaker. So his match is going to be the main event of the night. So I guess later I will tell you how that turned out to be. So y'all, we get a quick little segment with Sol Ruka and Becky Lynch. And Sol Ruka was originally supposed to have an interview with Byron Saxton about her 2 losses she had the past 2 Mondays. And Soul basically says she's new here. She only been wrestling for 4 years, and she's learning the ropes, I'll say. So Becky comes down nowhere and tries to put down Soul. So then Soul marches herself into the ring and calls out Becky. Now this is where I'm just like, what was the point of you doing this? Because y'all both was already in the back. Why didn't you come in the ring and basically challenge Becky? Well, Becky really challenged Soul for this um, Saturday night match they got going on this Saturday, which I am not going to review. I never really cared for this PLE at all, so I would not be reviewing this one at all. We're going to do at Italy, where most of the story is at Italy. But yeah, them two are going to have a match. It hasn't been confirmed yet if it's going to be for Becky's Women's Intercontinental Championship yet, but I'm pretty sure it is. Probably going to say something later in the show. But yeah, a quick little 1-2 between them two. So y'all, the next thing we get a little snippet of the Vision, and basically all of them are trying to come up with their plan with Seth Rollins' open challenge he gave the Vision. And Braun Breaker was telling Paul that he wants him, it's going to be a match between him and Steph. And Paul basically is like, no, we're going to give Austin Theory to Seth Rollins. But during the match, you know where he's going to be, what time he's going to be. And basically, he said you're going to jump him when he least expected. That's basically what Paul told Braun. So, as Logan Paul and Austin Theory are hyped up for this thing, they're not even like, they don't even know what's going on between them two. But, yeah, we had that. So, y'all, the next match of the night, we have our Tornado Tag Team match with all the El Grande Americanos and all their people all in a 6-man tag team tornado match. And this was a good match. This probably is the second best match of the night other than Finn's match from earlier. So a lot of back and forth, and you know how this is probably going to go. The other El Grande puts a metal plate in his mask and hits the original with it in the face, and he basically won the match against the original. And I hope this ends their feud. I'm getting a little tired of this feud with them. I hope that after they go against each other at AAA in Mexico, mask for mask, this will end their feud, so we can get something different between them. I don't know. I'm just ready for something new. So then we get a quick little segment with Kathy, and she interviews the Usos about tribal combat, what are the rules for it. Basically, it's an unsanctioned match. That's how I take it. Really, anything can happen, but there's tribal rules with it, so I'm pretty sure there's some other add-on to it. So y'all, we get a quick little segment with Ethan Page, and he has an interview with Michael Cole. And the interview starts off with Ethan Page handing Michael Cole of a card, basically gloating Ethan for a minute, and then saying how he's gonna take the Intercontinental Championship away from Penta, and that's it. So, guess we're gonna see more about them later. So guys, the next match of the night was for the Women's Tag Team Championship. We had Brie Bella and Paige versus Roxanne and Raquel of the Judgment Day. And this match was okay. I didn't really care for it. Liv was with the rest of the Judgment Day ladies. She tried to get involved, but Brie Bella and Paige end up retaining their championship, and they will go on Saturday against a different set of ladies for the Tag Team Championship. As they were celebrating during the win, Liv jumped both of them, and Bailey and Lyra came to the help of Bree and Paige, and that was it for that. So then we jump back to Steph Rollins, and he is having a moment with LA Knight, and LA Knight basically chews out Steph and basically says, "You're going to get your butt beat no matter if you win or lose, and you're going to expect help out there tonight, but you're not going to expect it from me." So Steph is probably going to be all alone and going to get beat up by Division by the end of the night. So y'all, the next thing of the night, we had Obafemi's Open Challenge, but we get a surprise of a lifetime. Brock Lesnar came back and then gave Obafemi like 3 or 4 F5s and left Oba in the middle of the ring. Now, I was not expecting this. This was not on my bingo card. I thought he retired back in WrestleMania, but I guess he said he's not done. He said he got more in the tank. Or WWE sprinkle some of that money for him to come back. So maybe we're gonna see. Now look, I can see this happening at SummerSlam. If Oba wins, Brock is probably forever done. He probably just didn't want to go out that way as him retiring like that, but I don't know. I can't see this being Clash Italy worthy. I think this should have been SummerSlam. I really hope they do this, but I know it's gonna be Clash of Italy. But this was not on my bingo card. I was not expecting Brock Lesnar to be there, but yeah, I guess the beast is back. I don't know. So y'all, we see Adam Pearce looking around for Brock Lesnar after he jumped Obafemi, and he ended up going to his office, and Paul Heyman was there, and Adam is like, basically, what is going on? You know something about this? And Paul's like, no, Brock Lesnar is retired. And then he hands Adam Pearce a paper, a contract, saying that Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi at Clash of Italy for a rematch for WrestleMania, which I was hoping this was not for Clash of Italy. I wish it was more of a SummerSlam worthy match. I feel like it would have been much better if to hype this up until SummerSlam. But anyway, so we're gonna have that Sunday. Actually, Clash of Italy is actually on Sunday, but I could have sworn they've been advertising this thing for Saturday, but I don't know. Anyway, so Oba, I'm pretty sure next week is gonna sign that contract next Monday. So the last segment of the night, we get Kathy talking to the Street Profits about their match on Saturday with the Vision to become the new tag team champions. And this is basically saying that they're going to win, and that's it. That's all they're really saying. Then Montez gets a little quick glance at Steph preparing for his match next. But then he tells Angelo to basically watch his back, because I know that Angelo has a little bit of a liking to Steph, but Montez doesn't. So then Angelo walks over there to Steph and kind of says that he kind of has Steph back, but not right in a confident way. So hopefully we see them maybe do something. I don't know. This is kind of weird for them to be partnered up. So I don't know. So y'all, the last match of the night, we had Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory, and it was an okay match. Do I feel like this was main event worthy? No, but all in all, it was a decent match. Seth Rollins ended up picking up the win in the match, but Logan Paul tried to get involved, but it didn't work. So at the end of the match, Logan and Austin jumps Steph. So then Angela of the Street Profits come and try to defend Steph, but then he gets beat up, and then Montez comes out. He tries to help Angelo, but then he gets up getting speared by Braun Breaker, who comes out of nowhere and does his little 1-2 thing. Braun and Steph have a little brawl, and basically Braun takes out Steph, and he tries to crush Steph with a steel step, but GM Adam Pearce in the back people stopped it from happening, and that was the end of the show for tonight. But honestly, this was a decent Monday Night Raw. I was really scared because Friday wasn't too good, but this was a really good Raw. My favorite match of the night still going to be Steph and JD McDonough. The most shocking thing of the night was definitely Brock Lesnar coming back one more time for Obafemi. And this is a prediction I have. I think that the Street Profits might break up because of this. The way how Montez and Angelo have been moving lately, it's been a little weird. It's kind of like weird tension between them two, but I don't know. This is my guess. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but they're giving weird vibes, especially now during this little feud that they're with Steph and the Vision. So I don't know, but this will be the show for tonight. I want to say thank you for everyone who has listened, watched, liked, subscribed. Thank you so much for showing your support of my channel and listening to my views on what's going on in the main timeline of WWE. So be sure to like, subscribe, share if you want to, and let's continue to let this channel flourish so we can do more things. But after all that, be sure to love one another, be blessed, and mental health matters. Bye.